Hi everyone, this is Pat in the paper closet. Today we're going to be trying out a new technique that I just came across, and I think it's going to be very helpful. I just want to show you how I did it. I've been watching some videos lately looking for new ideas, and I came across, I don't know whose channel it was, so if you recognize the procedure and you know who did it, let me know and I'll give them credit in the description box below. Now this is making Glassine Ephemera. Well, it looks like glassine paper. You know the glassine bags that you buy? They're semi-transparent, not fully. But you make it out of copy paper. Copy paper and clear embossing powder. Now this is the embossing powder I've had for many years now. It's very old, but still working. No problems with it. It's just clear. I put it in a tub, so I'm not so messy. I still make a mess, but... And I put it in here. It's very fine, but it's clear. It doesn't have a color. And what I did, well, you can see on this one, I only did the upper part. Can you see the difference? You can see the shine, but can you see the change in the paper, in the color? Now if I hold it up against this white piece with the flower on it, you can see that you can see through it. It's semi-transparent. Can you see on the left side of the flower there? As opposed to the bottom part. The bottom part I didn't do anything with. I left that as copy paper just so I could compare it. The bottom you can't see through, so you can't see the flower. But when you get to the upper part that I did, you can see the flower. There's the stem. So that's what it does. So I'm figuring this is, I mean, you can make, you know, you can buy those clear stickers, but you're limited on what you can get. Most of them are just flowers or butterflies, or this way you can make your own from any image that you can print on copy paper. Now these images were a free download. I think it was from Heather and Jan, their channel. Her channel, I forgot her name, sorry. That's these flowers, but these are just images I downloaded off, I think it was, might have been Pixabay, one of the free sites where you can download and use free images. I'll look it up and I'll put it in the description box. But these I want to make for the 4th of July junk journal booklet that we were working on. So I'm going to work on these. Here's another flower I want to do. I have this parchment paper here because I make a mess when I'm doing embossing. This way most of my powder is on here. Pick it up and throw it in the garbage. Okay, so this was my sample. Or one of my samples. I tried this also. These are some, what do they call these? Gnomes. Sorry. 3 little gnomes. And these were printed on paper similar to like this background. So you can see the difference in that one also. Now this one I only did, on the right side, I only did the back of it. I didn't do the front. And it's still pretty transparent, but it doesn't have that shine like the left side has. Kind of feels like a magazine page. So I do the back and the front. And I don't fussy cut it until I'm finished with it. This one you see I started fussy cutting the top. But I still want to finish the bottom, and then I'll finish fussy cutting around here. And that's what the whole thing will look like. I think they look very nice on Just your junk journal pages, pockets. Make them any size because you're making your own. Any image. So let's get started on one of these. I think I'll start with, I like this little squirrel. I kind of cut this out in a square with little corners. So I'm going to use that in the book. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move these aside so I don't mess them all up. These two are done, except for that one. These I'm going to do. And these were the rest that were on that sheet that I printed. I haven't cut out yet. I have my Versamark stamp pad, which is nicely moistened up. I do have the refill, so I really gave it a good soaking. And I'm going to take this little squirrel. I found the easiest way to do this was just to put it right on the pad. I had tried using a Q-tip, which fell apart, and put too much ink on the back of the paper or the front. So you just take it, lay it on the pad, and press it in. Just give it a good press. And you move it. I want to get the edge. It's a little messy, so I have a paper towel next to me for my fingers. Wipe my hands off. I want to get the other edge. And this side I didn't get. I'm just pressing it into the pad. I'm going to cover the whole back. You can see, can you see it? The ink is it's ink, I imagine, but it's clear and it's sticky. So now we're going to put our embossing powder on it. Whoops. Take my little spoon. And I'm just going to pour it all over the back. This stuff lasts forever because you don't use very much. You pour it on, then you pour it off. You just want to cover the whole back. And turn it around. Be careful where you're touching because it will come off on your fingers. Then you'll have a spot without any embossing powder. And just kind of keep pouring it over. Tap off the excess. Move this out of my way so I don't make more of a mess. Now I have this little tweezer. I don't know who makes it. I can't read the brand name. It's called a reverse tweezer. You squeeze it and it opens, and when you let it go, it closes. So you don't have to hold you don't have to hold it tight. It just stays there. See, like this? So now I just hold the end so that I don't burn my fingers. I have my heat gun. I turn it on. Also very old. It's a Darry's heat tool. I don't even know if it's still available. But it heats up very quickly. And it does get rather hot. So when you're doing your heating, just keep moving your heat gun around. You don't want to lay it in one spot. And this is copy paper, so it's a little flimsy. It bends, flips over. But you'll see when you've got the embossing powder melted. It's very glossy. Then make sure you get it all. Keep the gun moving so you don't burn your paper. The edges. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Let's do it. Let's turn this off. Let me see if I see any. Be very careful. This is hot. It actually melts the embossing powder, so this is hot until it cools off. You'll burn your fingers. That looks good. I'm going to take off my tweezer. Oops. Now we can see. It's changed it a bit. And that's just doing the back. See, we can see the flower through the paper. Whereas before it was all white on those stripes. So that's just doing the back. Now we're going to do the front. The same way. Then take our pad, ink pad, press it down. So we're working on the reverse side now. Pressing it into the ink. Get the whole thing covered. Check to see if you have any spots. You can see over here I have no gloss. I want to get that spot. Looks pretty good. A little bit on this end. Okay. Move that aside. Get my embossing powder. Cover it. Turn it around and get this side. Being careful not to touch too much of it because it comes off. It's only sticking on that glue, that ink. Tap it a little bit. Okay, now this is the front. You can see it looks matte compared to the back, which is glossy. Whoops, where are we on camera? My camera's looking at another spot. There we go. That side's glossy, that's the side we finished. This side looks matte or flat. No shine to it. Okay, so we're going to get a heat gun again. I'm going to get my little tweezers. Make sure you're on the right side. You want the matte side, not the shiny side. Let's take a look. Remember, it's hot. It looks like we've melted it all. There we go. Can you see the shine? I'm letting it cool a little bit. Okay. Remove the tweezers. And there's that one. Well, let's see how. Now, can you see now? You can see through all the white areas and actually the pink also. So it's gotten pretty transparent, translucent. We could see through it. Can you see up here? So I think these will come in handy. I'm going to continue making these. These are going in the 4th of July junk journal booklet. So that will go with this one. I haven't decided if I'm going to fussy cut this out or use it as a pocket, maybe. I'll decide later. Okay, those two are done. Now we could try the hat. Whoa. I'll take this into my sweater. Okay. Now this one I'll probably fussy cut it out when I'm finished with it. So I'm not going to worry about getting the ink all around the whole outside. I'm just going to make sure I get the hat covered. I'm going to lay down the hat right there. Press on it and a little bit around it. Pick it up. Move it over a little bit and get this side of the hat. Another side. Now let's check if we get the whole thing covered. Now I see I'm missing right here on the hat. You can see the shiny glue on there. Press it into the ink. Alright, now I've got it. All of the hat is covered. And now we bring out our embossing powder again. Sprinkle it all over. Get a little tap. Get off any excess. I don't want to tap too much off. You can see it's covered with powder now. Don't know if you can see that. No, you really can't. Not on the camera. Okay, we're going to take our heat gun again. And get my tweezer. Burn my fingers. Get the corner. Oops. Missed. Too far. I'm going to cut that off anyway, so. Okay. Now let that cool for a second. Can you see the change in the paper itself, the white of the paper? That's what looks translucent. So all of this white on the hat, the stripes, you'll be able to see partially through that. Okay, that's the front. Should have done the back first, but that's okay. I'm going to turn it open. We're going to do the back of it now. Doing the front works okay, but it's more transparent, I think, if you do both sides. So let's just dip it in our ink. Now we're working on the back, so the ink is going on the back of this. Get the brim. I'm going to cut this out, remember, so I'm not worried about getting the outer part. Just the hat itself. Okay, let's take a look. I need a little bit more down here. And about here. Okay, that looks good. Move that aside. Get our embossing powder. Whoops, wrong side. Pour it on. You want to make sure you got a good coating on there. Tap it off a little bit. I see a bit of a bump there. Okay, take it out. There we go. Okay, now we're going to get our heat gun again. I almost forget my tweezers every time. Let it cool for a second. I can feel the powder on my hands. Okay. Take off the tweezers. And there we have it. Now let's see what we can, let's try this flower again. No. Something we could see through it. Here it is. There we go. Can you see through it? So it turns it into like a glassine bag. And you couldn't make a bag out of this because you need an awful large piece in order to fold it into a bag. But it works well on these sticker type pieces. Can you see that? See through the paper? I like that. Something different to put in our books. We keep making the same things over and over and over again. So this is something different. Has a different texture and a different look. Kind of feels like I said, a magazine page. And then I will just fussy cut it out. I'm not going to leave a big edge on this one. And then I'll put it in our book. So now we have these. Let's see what else I had. I have a flag and a flower. And let's do the flower first. That's smaller. Again, with this one, I'm not going to do completely around the edges because I will semi-fussy cut this one out. Got a lot of notches in it, but semi will work. So we're gonna get the flower itself. So here, getting the top, pressing it into the ink pad. I want to make sure I get the middle because I want that to get clear. You can see through the middle. Now the top. Again, I started with the front. I don't know that it makes a difference, but I don't think it matters. Let's see. Yes, I can see it. We have ink on all of the parts of the flower, except for the very tippity top. Okay, that's good. Get our embossing powder. Pour it on. Pour on as much as you want because you're going to dump it back into your little bin. You could also do this over a sheet of paper and then pour it back in your jar. But I find this much easier. And make sure I get it covered. Let me just tap it up a little bit. Not too much. Okay. Tweezers. And the heat gun. Let it cool. That one's covered well. You can see the gloss, the sheen on there. Okay, it's cool enough. And now we're going to do the back. Same process. Dipping it in, pressing it down where I want the ink to be. Like I said, I'm not doing the outer edge because I'm going to cut that off. I just want the flower itself. I'm going to get the middle because I want that to be clear. Let's see. We need a little bit more over here. Looks like it's all covered. And a little bit right here. Okay. The embossing powder. Sprinkling it on. You just keep covering it. Make sure the area that I want to emboss is covered. Tapping up a little bit of the excess. Holding the corner. You can see it changing because it's flattened out. Let it cool. Still pretty hot. Okay, that's good. And this is the front. So now you can really see the difference where it changed the color from white to clear, or almost clear. And here we have, you can see through it, you can see the flower behind there, the leaves, the stems. In the center you can see through it. So I think that'll look good. So that one's done. I'm going to continue with a few more of these and then I'll be right back. And we'll cut a few out. Okay, I've cut out a few of these pieces that I did already. I cut out the little flower. And we can see through the center of it. See, the center is also clear. There we go. And then move it along the flower. So that'll look cute in our book. I've cut out the little hat. Let's see how that looks with our flower. Here it is. So you can see through the white on the paper and the flower. Yeah, I mean in the hat. So they're semi-transparent. Not clear, like a clear piece of paper. A clear plastic. They look nice. So they'll look cute on pockets and things. I'm going to finish that I'm going to leave it like that. This, I think I'm going to try doing the front of it again. And then I want to do this flag. So, again with the INKJET, I'm going to do the front of this part. Get the corner. And go up a little bit more. Okay. A little bit down here. If you hold it up to the light, you can see where you have the ink and where you don't. You want to make sure you have ink covering the parts that you want to put the embossing powder on. Okay, that should do that. I'm going to put the embossing powder on it. Only working on the right side. I already did the left side. That was my experiment. I wanted to see the difference. Okay. I'll use my little tweezers. And I'll burn my fingers for sure. Okay, I'll get the heat gun. Okay, let it cool a little bit. Youch, it's hot. You know what? It gets so hot because the other side is already embossed. And this is also reheating as you put the heat gun on it. So both sides are hot. So just let it cool a little bit. Okay. There we go. Now we have both sides. Excuse me. Okay, that's that one. Now I wanted to do this flag. Yeah. I'm not going to cut it out now, but I will cut it out after I emboss it. So that I just have the flag. Pressing it into the ink. This side. Let's see. As long as I have all the flag covered, I'm good. Need a little bit on the end here. And a little bit at the top. I don't know if you can see, but you can see where the ink is and where it's not, so you know if you've got the whole thing covered. Okay, I'll take the embossing powder, pour it all over, tip it off, turn it around. Okay, and we're ready to heat it. The red is not bright red because I lightened it on the copy paper because it's bend over. I think I'm getting it all. Let's check it out. It is hot. Yeah, I got all the flag at least. The background I'm going to be cutting off. Okay, so that's good. Now we have to do the other side. There we go again. Dipping it in. Pressing it in. We're doing the back of it now. This end. A little more here. And I think that's it. And a little bit in this corner. That should do it. Okay. Putting on a powder. Looking like it's all covered. Okay. Ready to heat it up. Oops. That should do it. Looks all melted. A little hot, I'll let it cool. Here's the other side. Looks good. That's the back. That's the front. And like I said, now this I'm gonna, when it's good and dry, I'm gonna trim it out so I don't have the outer edge on here. I just want the flag. So I'll put that there for now. One thing I wanted to try, I'm gonna experiment with this piece. I don't think anything's gonna happen other than it'll get shiny because it's not white. But I'm curious to see. It is copy paper, but the whole thing is printed on. So I don't think we're gonna get any transparency with it. But you never know. We'll try. I could print these, all of these images on white, just plain white copy paper without a background, and then they'll come out fine. Over here. The background's getting very transparent. fingers and I didn't realize I was off the table. Melted. Rather cool. We'll see what we end up with. Okay. I don't think we're going to get any transparency. Oh, we did. Aha, look at that. Can you see it? You can see through this, even though it's printed on. One thing I was a little wary of, because these are all printed with an inkjet printer, and I thought once they got wet they would smear, but they didn't. Worked out just fine. Oh, I like that. So now we know. Put that little brown background on there. It still works. Okay, I didn't do the back of that one, but that's okay. I want to try, well, this is supposed to look like maybe a piece of washi tape. I'm going to see what happens. What do I do with my ink pad? Oh my, here it is. Right in front of me. Okay, I'm going to press this in. It won't be as thin as washi tape because the coating makes it a little thicker. But it'll look like it. Let's see. Pretty well covered. Get a powder on it. Trying to hold it on the area where it's not going to be embossed. I'm going to cut off the edges. Okay. Not much to hold here, but got it. Okay. I'll try and get it in camera. You should see it change in the color. There we go. There's the purple getting deeper. Going to be a brighter purple. Can you see that? A little awkward. Copy paper. On the cover of the embossing powder and melt the whole color. I'm doing great. Let's let it dry a little bit. Wipe out my fingers and embossing powder all over me. Take that off. Now let's see. I don't know if this got too transparent with my flower. Here it is. Well, yes, it is. You can see through it. So I'll trim off the edges and it'll look like a piece of tape, washi tape. Very good. I do want to finish up the bottom of this one. And that'll be all I'll do on camera right now. I'll find some more pictures. I like doing this. Works out very well. I'm working on the back, right? Yeah. Get this side. hard to tell now, but I have the top done. Okay. I had left the bottom so I could see how well it turned it transparent. That was one of the first ones that I did. Okay. Find something like glass mat or something that I can actually lay it on. That would be a lot easier. I can't do it on this mat because it will melt. It's more of a rubber. Okay, I should do that side. Let it cool. And then I'll do the other side. And I'll finish fussy cutting it. And that'll be done. Here's our washi tape. Just gonna trim this off. We'll have that piece. I'm gonna trim the flag. This I don't think I'll trim until I use it on something. And I'll decide. Our gnomes. Our squirrel. Our hat. And our flower. Very good. We need a nice bunch. Okay, that's dry. Now we could do this side. Can you see the difference? I didn't do the bottom. I just want to finish that up. And we'll be done here. I will be making more of these. Find any image I want, or any book that I want. Can't really see. Am I doing the wrong side? Why isn't the ink showing? I don't remember what side I did. I did the back, right? So I'm doing the front. Very hard to tell. Right up. Make sure I've got all the areas covered. Just tap it off a little bit. Very cool. Now we can see the whole flower. Okay. And there we have it. I'm going to finish fussy cutting this out. And what else have I got? Another thing I'm going to try this label also. I'll do that off camera. You'll see me put it in the 4th of July junk journal booklet when I do the others. Oh, I also wanted to try this. This was a slightly embossed, I don't even, a teddy bear. I want to see what it would look like if we put the clear powder on here. But it's going to cover the whole thing. Well, I'll try it and I'll show you what happens. So that's what I'm going to work on. A few more of these flowers. I tried using it on vellum. I had done white embossing on a piece of vellum, and it really didn't do much. It made the vellum feel like a piece of plastic, but let's see what it looks like. It did melt the embossing powder that was on here, so I have to be a little more careful if I'm going to do that. I don't know if it's worth doing because this was already vellum paper, but it does feel a lot different. It's much thicker. I may use it on something. Okay. I hope you like this video. If you like this idea, just leave me a comment below and hit the like button. That'll help the algorithm to send my video out to more viewers. That way my channel will grow a little faster. So please hit the subscribe button and the bell, and you'll be notified when the next video is up. And we'll be putting some of these into our 4th of July junk journal booklet. Okay, thank you for coming. I'll see you soon. Bye.